I'm not attended, sir.
I didn't attend, sir.
Okay. Welcome to Dr. Ambedkar Open University Psychology online classes. Today I would be taking Foundations of Psychology, Unit 1. Unit 1, Nature and Scope of Psychology. Does anyone of know what is psychology? You have any idea? Hello?
No, sir.
No idea.
No, sir.
What does it come to your mind when you say psychology?
The study of
Uh,
human
Human thinking.
behavior.
Okay. Anyway, we'll look into that. Once you complete this online session, you would be able to explain the nature of psychology. You can also describe scope of psychology, then analyze relationship between the psychology and other subjects. And we'll look into applied fields of psychology. I'll try to explain as much as possible. You still have any doubts, you can raise your hand or type in the chat window. As you have seen, my name is Madhusudan Rao K. I'm a psychology faculty. I'm a counselor too.
No, sir.
Hello. One second, this window is distracting me. Yeah. As every one of you aware that human being is a social being or social animal and very curious to about things around them. If you hear a sound, an abnormal sound, an odd sound, you tend to move around, look, inquire about that sound, how it is coming, why it is coming, from where it is coming. So curiosity is what drives human mentality all the time. Whenever we meet somebody, we'll definitely try to understand why this person is behaving like this and why he behaved differently in other situations. At the same time, you will also experience by yourself your behavior in different situations are varying differently. And this psychology also helps us to treat certain conditions, especially healthcare professionals will benefit more to treat the people with need. As I asked you in the beginning, what is psychology? Psychology is a Greek word combined with two other words which are called psyche and logos. Psyche means spirit or soul. When it was associated with philosophy, psychology was not away from philosophy. At that time, it was known as dealing with souls, spirits. So they named it as spirits or souls, study of spirits or souls. Literally, it means science of souls. But over a period of time, psychologists, with their experience and empirical evidences, they derived psychology as a systematic and scientific study of mental processes, experiences, and behaviors. Behaviors include overt and covert. Overt means which we can see, covert means which we cannot see. So why do we study psychology? To understand yourself better, to help in understanding other people. Once you study psychology, different subjects are there in psychology. We are talking about only basics about psychology in this particular subject, that is foundations of psychology. So once you understand yourself better, it will be easy for you to understand other people too, and improve communication with self and others. And you will also develop novel thinking skills. Apart from your regular thinking, you will try to think apart from the or away from the box. And it will be a great positive help to the human development. A complete knowledge in other fields too. Psychology is linked to each and every other fields of the sciences. One second. Yeah. If you understand psychology of self and others, it is very easy for you to maintain mental well-being. At least you will try to correct your state of mind and become healthy mentally and psychologically. Now, there are some misconceptions about psychology. There are some misconceptions, and we'll look into the actual truth associated with that misconception. By learning psychology, can we read minds of other people? Is it possible? No. It considers tendencies to predict behavior. There are chances to predict others' behavior only. And psychology is used to control minds. Is it correct? Definitely not. It can influence behavior through learning and conditioning. We will go through the learning and conditioning part later in our different units. It is not a real science. It is a scientific method which have empirical evidences to prove that psychology is a science. Is it same as psychiatry? No, definitely not. It is not a psychiatry. Psychiatry deals with medicinal aspect, biological aspect of treatment, and psychology involves in counseling and study of behavior and other aspects of the human behavioral patterns. So, scopes of psychology. If psychology has evolved as a science, its fields of specialization has multiplied and its educational and training requirements have been formalized. As it has been evolving since 5,000, 6,000 years, empirically we have proofs since 2000 BCE. So since then, it has been part and parcel of our educational system. Psychologists work in variety of fields in academic and professional settings. You have been hearing and seeing that so many psychologists working in different fields of teaching and in professional settings too. And this is very wide and vast. It is not stopping, it is still expanding. That much I can say. So psychology explains not about only human beings. It is all dealing with all the living organisms. All the living organisms. So behavior is all activities of human being. I have been telling you all the time behavior. So what is behavior? Behavior is all activities of human being or organisms, and all living organisms, including adolescents, all human beings. That includes, adulthood, old age, students, teachers, parents, producers. Producers means manufacturers or farmers or whatever. Consumers, officials, clients, criminals, etc. So when they started studying psychology, psychologists thought that we are limiting this psychology to particular, uh, only as a psychology. Let us break it into pure psychology, which involves in biological aspects and other things, and applied psychology. Applied psychology is what we apply in day-to-day life. As I told you, pure psychology involves abnormal, developmental psychology, experimental, general, geropsychology. I've typed it wrongly. It is geropsychology, parapsychology, physiological psychology, and social psychology. Applied, clinical, where treatment is done for the needy. So it involves, counseling, conditioning, etc. Educational psychology, that will deal all these things. I'll elaborately explain in the coming slides. Industrial psychology, legal, military, and political psychology. These are the main branches of psychology. And we have so many other branches also. At the end of the session, I'll try to tell you. So what is the aim of psychology? Aims of psychology. So as I already told you, humans have a curiosity to learn things around them, always searching for the new thing or the thing which makes them curious. We start questioning what is happening. It may be related to you or it may not be, but you will question what is happening. What is happening, by which you will understand how to describe what is happening. Psychology aims at describing the thing which is happening. Then why it is happening? It will look into the reasons why it is happening, by which we can explain to somebody else. Then, will it happen again? What, why, when? Will it happen again? So, what are we doing? By describing, by explaining, we are trying to predict whether this will happen again or not. Looking at the previous patterns, based on the data we have, there are chances we can predict. Then, can we change? How can we change the behavior? Yes. Up to a certain extent, we can control the behavior under proper conditions. So, aims of psychology: describing, explaining, predicting, controlling. Controlling the behavior and mental processes. So now let us see relationships of psychology with other sciences. As I already told you, each and every subject is linked to psychology. Earlier it was only linked to, it was part and parcel of philosophy. When it came out of philosophy, it has spread its tentacles like all around. So psychology works in tandem with physical sciences. Physics is concerned with the all aspects of nature, as you can see, everything which is, which you can see around you is physical. And whether this thing affects the individual's psychological process or behavior or thought process. What I mean to say, if I'm working here, I'm teaching you online psychology class. Now, all of a sudden, I see rise of temperature in this room and lot of temperature increase. And will I be able to perform my class as I expected to? It will definitely hinder my performance. If the temperature is amicable and ambient surroundings are good, and definitely you can expect a nice class. Otherwise, the sweating, the temperature, which will definitely pull down my teaching capacity. Psychology and biology. So biology provides a foundation of understanding psychological processes and behaviors. Okay, somebody is writing. Okay, so biology. It's a understanding the psychological processes and behaviors. It explores the biological basis of mental states and behaviors, especially various systems such as nervous system, cardiovascular system, endocrine, immunity, etc. Why, how these systems can affect individuals' performance. One second. Please don't distract. Yeah, psychology and physiology. We are aware that the relationship between levels of stresses and physical well-being are interrelated. Under the stressful conditions, we take behavioral and physical actions. That is, our brain becomes aroused and the nervous system is also excited. So we tend to shout on somebody, or we go, quiet, or we can, become very, very aggressive. So physiology definitely affects our behavioral processes. This is also very important to know. Physiology and psychology together are very, very important, just like other sciences. Psychology and logic. Psychology tells us how we actually think, while logic tells us how we are supposed to think in order to arrive at the truth. Please don't write anything on the screen. So psychology deals with the actual process of reasoning. Logic deals with the validity of reasoning and the condition of its validity. Once you come to the practical sessions, you will understand what is validity, reasoning, reliability, all these things. Psychology and philosophy. Philosophy is the study of nature of human mind. So philosophers will be telling you, teaching you so many things. Philosophy is nothing but what spiritual leaders teach in many places. But when it is linked with, please don't distract. You people are continuously I will talk about this at the end of this session, Fatima. Yeah, please don't. Yeah. So it focuses on issues of human behavior and human experiences. Philosophy focuses on issues of human behavior and human experiences. It also involves in the study of nature of reality, whereas psychologists use this and their knowledge of these subjects to explain human behavior. Hello. Sociology. Psychology and sociology are again interrelated. Both study human behavior. Psychology and sociology approach this subject on a different scale. Psychology focused on understanding the individual, while sociology focuses on social groups, communities, cultures, etc. So, what does this mean? Individuals' behavior in social groups, communities, and their cultural differences, how they are accustomed or unable to adjust to the situations in group settings. So, psychology and anthropology. Anthropology is the study of human societies and cultures and their developments. Societies, cultures, and human development. While psychology is the study of human mind, behavior based on the societies, cultures, and their developments. Since the inception of psychology, we look into anthropology to derive present situation. Psychology and education. They both are interdependent. Psychology is the study of human behavior, while education is the process of modifying human behavior. Both deals with human behavior, but in different ways. Education psychology deals with educational problems associated with the student, whether they are performing good or not, why they are not performing, how to improve their performance, whether they are not able to understand what is obstructing their intelligence. Is there any biological issue or psychological issue or any other issues? All these things, education and psychology are, as I said, interdependent, and through which we can assess the child and give them better education. Now coming to basic fields of psychology. General psychology. General psychology deals with history of psychology, the basic research methods, development, emotions, motivations, personality, perception, and basic cognitive and dynamic processes of psychology. Now, where does general psychology used? Any idea, students? Okay, I'll tell you. In general, this subject is given to many subjects, other subjects as a supplementary or optional subject. Suppose you take educational psychology in general, this particular subject can be opted. Now there are different branches of psychology, like you can even opt educational psychology. Earlier, it was the only topic which was given to the like mm, now it has been named differently. Anyway, we'll come to it later on when we deal with the in-depth study of the topic. We will discuss about that. As you know, it is online class. It is very difficult uh, to communicate with you. If it is one-to-one, definitely there would be a great interaction and very easy for communicating things. But we are lucky that at least you are not able to come to the offline class, but you are able to get the class at least online, which is of great use for you. Experimental psychology, a scientific study under a controlled environment of behavior, motives, cognition in a laboratory or other controlled settings in order to predict, explain, or influence behavior. Once you come to practicals, you will understand what is experimental psychology, what is controlled group, all these things, how experiments are conducted, how would the laboratory looks, all these things we will understand. Excuse me. Physiological psychology. It is the study of biological underpinning of the behavior and the psychological state in brain chemistry and nervous system. Physiology, which is about our physical structure. Study of psychological state in the brain chemistry and nervous system. You'll be having these experiments one by one in first semester, second semester. All these semesters, you will be understanding most of the things one by one. Then comparative. It's a scientific study of behavior and mental processes of non-human animals, especially as these related to the polygenetic history, adaptive significance, and development of behavior. Non-human means we are comparing ourselves with the other beings. Now, developmental psychology. What does developmental psychology means? The field of study that focuses on people's change and growth across their lifespan. People develop physical, social, mental, and emotionally over a time. Right from birth to termination, or you can say cradle to grave. We grow every day, every second we are growing. These studies, this is for the study focuses on the growth across their lifespan, complete birth to death. Whether they are achieving their age-wise mental age or physical age, whether they are meeting the physical age with their mental age. These things are checked. If their performance is varied. So that is the purpose of developmental psychology. Personality, study of relationship between personality and behavior. Personality, every human being has a different personality. Personality is nothing but how a person behaves with the other person. He have peculiar traits which vary from the other person. These things can be studied through different aspects of personality. ఏంటి ఆ సౌండ్? డిస్ట్రాక్షన్ ఉంది చాలా నాకు. చాలా తలుపేసేయండి, చాలా డిబేట్ అవుతుంది. And social psychology, it applies the scientific method of systematic observation, description, and measurement to the study of human behavior in social context. As I already told you, individual behaves differently when he is in private, when he is in family, when they are in their groups, society, or working somewhere. Systematically, under social psychology, we make observations and describe, measure their behavior. All these things can be done through social psychology. Social psychologists will do this. And cognitive psychology. This perspective of psychology focuses on how the interactions of thinking, emotions, creativity, and problem solving abilities affect how and why you think the way you do. The cognitive perspective of psychology focuses on interactions of thinking, emotions, creative. It is the thought process which goes inside your brain. How you react to solve particular issue in different situations. That is all it is going to deal. Now, abnormal psychology. It is a branch of psychology that studies unusual patterns of the behavior. I said unusual. Behavior, emotions, thoughts, which could possibly be understood as a mental disorder. When you come, when you study abnormal psychology, you will understand about 4 Ds. One, you can say abnormal. You apply 4 Ds. So, educational psychology. It is the study of how people learn, including teaching methods, instructional processes, and individual differences in learning about particular topic or any subject. Why he is not able to study this? Or why am I not able to teach you properly? As everybody knows that no individual is the same. So definitely their learning capabilities vary. At the same time, teacher also cannot convey the same message to all the students because of his teaching method or maybe students' learning ability. So these things can be assessed. That is the reason even teachers will have regular assessments in their schools, colleges, etc. And school psychology is the field of study and professional practice focusing on the educational and psychological needs of the children, youth, and families. This is all related to school. I mentioned families. That doesn't mean school is going to look into families. How children or children's performance is varying, whether it's through their parents, it is coming from the family, or does the child have any issues with the family, all these things can be dealt through school psychologists. Now, family psychology. Family psychology deals, psychologists are concerned with the prevention of family conflicts, treat marital and family problems, and maintenance of normal family functioning. In general, we say counseling. Some places they use it as a family counselors. So family counselors are very, very important nowadays, because a lot of families, due to the uh, flood of information, and it is very difficult for the people to understand the information alike. So they will definitely have differences, and so many issues arise for no reason. So if this goes beyond their control, family counselors or psychologists will help them to come out of that problems. Community psychology focus on a person environment fit, how the person fits particular environment while working collaboratively with the groups and fostering empowerment and emphasizing if how the person can be improve their under different situations in a different setting while working collaboratively with the groups. So community psychologists are there nowadays, especially we can see uh, some communities, especially to mention, I've seen counselors in Jain community, uh, some backward areas. I was looking at, some communities. Then even I can take only Jain community and Parsis communities, other things. Rest all you can understand. There, these people do counselings. Whether this person is not able to, cope up with the things, other things, they counsel them, and these counselors are very, very important. If this counselor is psychologically educated, then definitely it is an plus point to the particular community. Now, clinical psychology. Clinical psychology, everybody heard of it. What is clinical psychology? It's a specialty that provides continuing and comprehensive mental and behavioral care for healthcare for individuals, couples, families, and group. Consultation to agencies and, as I said, agencies, communities, training, education, supervision, and research-based practice. Clinical psychology is what is of lot of demand right now, like educational psychology, and counseling psychology. So here they provide continuing and comprehensive mental and behavioral health care for all the sections of the societies. Counseling psychologists tend to focus on more on the person with the adjustment problem. They deal with, uh, for suppose, rather than person suffering from severe psychological disorder. Okay, a parent comes to uh, counseling psychologist, asks, my child is not concentrating. He or she is continuously busy in playing with the mobile phone since corona this started. My child is not concentrating. What should I do? Such issues can be addressed by counseling psychologists through counseling methods, different counseling methods. Industrial and organization. Industrial organizational psychology This is also very important. Nowadays, it is growing and having its very very vast. One second. One second. I have this. Yeah. Industrial. It deals with the human behavior in the workplace. It focuses on assessing individual, group, and organizational dynamics, and using that research identify solution problems that improves well-being. So, in organizational settings, whether the individual is not able to perform properly as he was performing earlier, and why is this happening? Such things can be addressed by organizational psychologists. Every MNC and every institution are having industrial psychologists or organizational psychologists. In at least 2 or 3 psychologists are there in any MNC right now. They deal with the performance of the individual, whether he is not coping with the work, whether he is maintaining proper relationship with the team, whether he is able to cope up with the family and the work. All these things can be assessed by organizational psychologist. Consumer. You have been hearing this thing since long time. Consumer psychology. Almost all these major, I'll take a name, for example, Amazon. They have different analytical softwares where they use what product this customer is purchasing, which area this is purchasing, why they should purchase, why he is purchasing. All these things consumer psychologists will assess and feed this data to that software so that they send that messages to us continuously. And many including social, all this field, the field of study, excuse me, election season, a lot of noise is there. I'll just give a field of study drawing on many disciplines, including social psychology, marketing, behavioral economics, and other areas to assist the understanding consumers. Consumer psychology concepts aim to evaluate and understand consumers and the decision making process. Sports psychology. This is, many people use sports psychology. They say sports psychology. That's a common word, like counseling psychology or clinical psychology. Yes, before even segregating sports psychology separately out of counseling or something, the counseling was happening at sports level. And with this sports psychology, it has become very easy for the psychologists to assess, address different issues related to the sportsmen and assessing their skills, developing their skills, addressing their you know issues, and increasing their performance in all levels of the sports career. So mostly associated with sports setting and organizations only. Environmental psychology emphasizes how human changes the environment and how environment changes the human experience and behavior. Simple, vice versa. This is mostly emphasizes presses on human change the environment and how the environment changes the human experiences behavior. That's it. So health psychology, it is sort of clinical psychology but not clinical psychology. Focuses on how biological, social and psychological factors influence health and illnesses. Health psychologists study how patients handle illness, why some people don't follow medical advice, and most effective ways to control the pain or change poor health habits. So, health psychologists are they study this, go through villages, slum areas. They collect a lot of data, and based on that, they do support the society with their knowledge by controlling the pain. Most effective way to control the pain and change the poor health habits. Rehabilitation, it addresses the behavioral and mental health issues faced by individuals across the lifespan who are affected by any injury, chronic conditions that leads to disability, including issues such as emotional coping, mental and psychological status. Right. So apart from this applied psychology, we also have the emerging fields of psychology. Emerging means new or which are coming, gaining more momentum nowadays. So aviation psychology, it's a branch of psychology that studies psychological aspects of aviation. What happens when a person flies at a height of 30 to 50,000, 60,000 feet in the sky, this and how they feel, whether flying for more than 24 hours or 30 hours affects their psychological behavioral patterns or not, how to cut short their abnormal behavior. All these things can be studied and enhance their performance in aviation psychology. Experimental and human factors, so this is simply called ergonomics. Human factor psychology is simply called ergonomics. The study of human interaction with their environment on a physical and psychological level, especially at the workplaces. How to improve their performance positively. How to improve their like organization behavior. They all look similar, but they are different. When you dive deep into the psychology, you will understand everything is different. You see from a distance, you see everything is same, but when you dive deep into the topic, you will understand it is completely different. Forensic psychology is the application of psychology to questions and issues related to law and legal systems, including criminal justice. It not just collects the evidences, but also analyzes. That may include genetical coding, and based on that, they will try to assess criminal mentality, their patterns, how crime has been done, why it has been done. They look into the patterns. This is more useful for the home department or police or military. Geropsychology. This deals with deals with the mental health and emotional well-being, as well as the as well as changes in these states at individuals as well as interpersonal levels associated with the increasing age. When people age, automatically their mental and emotional well-being varies a lot because of their aging body or degenerative body parts will not allow them to do things as they were doing earlier. So how they are communicating with others and themselves, whether they are able to meet their daily routine life, and how that is impacting their psychological and behavioral patterns. All these things will be dealt with neuropsychology. Now coming to neuropsychology or psychobiology. It's a branch of psychology that studies the physiological process of nervous system and relates them to the behavior and cognition. We already understood about physiological processes, the things which go inside us. All these things of the nervous system and relates them to the behavior and cognition. These nervous system and its impact on the behavior and cognition, thinking and um, doing the way which they are doing now. These things can affect. Psychometry and quantitative. Quantitative psychologists develop and analyze a wide variety of research methods, including those of psychometry, a field, including those of psychometrics, a field concerned with the theory and techniques of psychological measurements, where you measure mostly self-assessments will be done in this psychometric. Psychology for women. This is also an emerging field now. It focuses on social, economic, and political issues confronting women all throughout their lives. We are talking in general with all human beings and living organisms till now, that women have different challenge in each and every society around the world. So that is the reason women's psychology is also emerging, and it is a uh, field of psychology which is very, very important right now. Political psychology. It is an interdisciplinary academic field dedicated to understanding politics, politicians, and political behavior from a psychological perspective, and psychological processes using socio-political perspectives. See, have you heard about a personality called political analyst, Prashant Kishore? Such people, why I took his name, because he is the person who came into limelight in recent 10 to 15 years. He is in limelight and he is a person who is very famous as a political psychologist. By the way, I would like to tell you the highest paid psychologists are from political psychology only. It needs lot of study, lot of assessments, and lot of communication to thrive into political psychology field. So that is it for the day, and I hope this made some sense to you, and I wish to see you for the next session. Please inform your friends who joined newly and who haven't attended psychology class, either offline or online. Ask them to join from next Sunday onwards. And there is one more in May, second Saturday is coming. I'll try to finish entire topics within this session. I hope you understood it. If not, we can discuss it. You still have any doubts, please type in here so that I can answer, or you can ask questions. Unmute your mic, you can ask questions.
Sir, we haven't completed our practicals yet.
Okay.
So, are they supposed to happen or they have already happened?
So you are new batch, right?
Yeah, 2023 and 20.
Okay. You will be having practicals maybe in the next month. That would be announced in website, and very soon you will have it. And the
Okay.
department will take care of that. HOD is there. He will take care of your schedules and other things.
Okay, sir.
And you need to attend. You will be having the practical session for 4 days. You should never miss a day.
So, this is first sem practical exams. What are
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
first sem practical exam.
Yeah.
Sir, good morning, sir.
So, are we supposed to do?
యూనివర్సిటీలో ఉన్నారు సార్ మీరు
నేను ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్లో ఉన్నమ్మా, తర్వాత చెయ్యి.
ఓకే సార్
Yeah, tell me. Sorry,
So,
I was in call. Yeah.
first sem practical exams, are we supposed to do it in the next sem or are we allowed to? Like we haven't.
Sorry, no, you are not clear. First sem?
We'll have a first sem practical exam.
Huh.
So we have not completed our first sem. So are we supposed to attend it or we have to complete it in the next sem?
No. See, if you are newly joined, you don't have practicals right now. You'll be having practicals in next session. That would be announced online. And
Okay.
HOD sir will take care of that. And I think he was there online. He would be reading your messages too. Just type in there. He would be reading your messages.
Sure. Thank you so much.
And about Saida, yeah, you will have Viva on the same day. Once you complete your practical exam, you have to give Viva and get your record book, pencil, everything ready.
Okay.
So that concludes today's class. I'll be coming with other sessions. I'll try to cover two lessons at a time so that we'll finish, because time is very short and limited. Hello? Okay.
Sir, also, will this class be listed on YouTube channel so that we can go through?
Sorry, you're not clear. Class?
Will this class be listed on YouTube channel so that we can go through?
Yeah, it is there. It is there. You can check right now.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
It is checked. It is there already.
So this is live lecture.
One more thing I would like to tell you that, from next session, I'll take two units at a time, because we have only 5 more sessions. By the time I complete, you will be having practical exams. So as I told you, never miss a session. 4 days compulsory you have to attend. Never miss a session. Okay. And in the last class, I'll tell you what to bring other things. Okay.
Okay.
Well then, take care.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All the best.